Ogre Magi recently leased a fishing pond by the river, inviting all friends and family to come fish. The fish are fresh, plump, and lively. They'll randomly leap above the water every 1 second. But when the fish are underwater, they remain invisible the entire time, and gain max level innate ability effects, rapidly regenerating health. The event lasts 100 seconds. Who can catch more fish? The first contestant is Juggernaut. In today's challenge, there are 100 level 10 fish in the arena. Each fish caught earns the contestant 1 point. The fish normally don't attack, but they have sharp scales. If hit by a leaping fish, you'll lose 2 points in all attributes. So to ensure everyone's safety, to ensure all visitors enjoy their fishing experience, we've prepared Aghanim Scepter, Aghanim Shard, and 6 ultimate orbs. That's 90 points of all attributes combined. We just want everyone to have a good time. But there's one more thing to keep in mind. What's bred in the pond are actually piranhas. Once players lose 150 stacks of stolen attributes, the fish will frenzy and swarm their prey. Juggernaut's final score, 1, currently ranked number 1 on the leaderboard. Next up is Slarks. This one's literally the big fish eating the small fish. Today's small fish will surface and lose invisibility when rooted, ensnared, or stunned. But the big fish's shard already comes with amplified damage. True sight. So can he achieve good results? Level 10 small fish has 1000 horsepower. After the big fish lands his initial stomp, he can one-hit KO each of them. But after losing too many stats, he just won't die. Let's fast forward a bit. Slark got 150 stacks stolen, and now Slark activates Rage. Slark's final score is 28. Overtaking Juggernaut, he temporarily claims the top spot on the leaderboard. The next contestant entering the stage is Pangolier. To avoid restricting the player's freedom of movement, we've adjusted the shackle duration from pounced to 0. However, players will still be briefly immobilized when pounced. And Pangolier happens to be extremely vulnerable to immobilization. If he gets jumped on while casting his basic ability, it gets interrupted immediately. Pangolier's final score is 45, surpassing Slark to temporarily claim first place on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Tiny. Tiny's attack speed is painfully slow. Tries to swing but can't even complete the wind-up. Tiny's final score is 51, surpassing Pangolier to temporarily take the top spot on the leaderboard. The next hero to enter the arena is Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight chose the Fire Dragon Scepter, increasing its splash radius and gaining an AoE Dragon Tail. But Slark's invisibility uptime is way too high. The projectile is easily dodged, completely ineffective. Dragon Knight only scored 10 points. What if he had chosen the Ice Dragon Scepter instead? The Dragon Knight with the Ice Dragon Scepter. Basic attacks apply heal reduction. This could cut into Slark's regeneration. The score remained unchanged. Dragon Knight's final score is 10, currently ranked 4th on the leaderboard. The next contestant to take the stage is Sven. Still gotta bring out the OG Sven. Even if Sven's Stormhammer projectile is dodged with invisibility, it can still hit enemies within its range. But after the number of Slarks decreased, it became much harder to cleave, and now his ultimate duration has ended, can't deal with Slark anymore. Sven is the first contestant to survive until the time limit. His final score is 82, surpassing Tiny to temporarily claim the top spot on the leaderboard. The next contestant to take the stage is Bristleback. Bristleback's Quill Spray can damage invisible units. However, Slarks' Essence Shift doesn't deal direct damage, so it won't trigger backstab retaliation. Bristleback's final score is 11, temporarily ranked 5th on the leaderboard. The next contestant to take the stage is Mars. It's worth noting that since the waterfall is actually a slope, Mars' spear just couldn't connect. Mars' final score is 25, currently ranked 5th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Crystal Maiden. Worth mentioning, since Slarks' frequent invisibility makes him hard to catch. To avoid wasting time, when the number of Slarks on the field drops below 10, they'll abandon stealth, enter rage, and make a final desperate struggle. Enraged Slarks gain debuff immunity. The skill effect yields minimal results. CM gave it her all but was no match. Crystal Maiden's final score is 98, overtaking Sven to temporarily claim the top spot on the leaderboard. The next contestant to take the stage is Phantom Assassin. PA can refresh her skills with every hero kill. Meanwhile, Stifling Dagger deals percentage-based damage. A textbook perfect desecration right there. However, PA's intelligence is far too low. With stolen stats piling up, she's now starved for mana. Phantom Assassin's final score is 41, currently ranked 5th on the leaderboard. The next contestant to take the stage is Meepo. Meepo's net can ensnare invisible Slarks, then secure the kill with Poof. Kill count reaches 90. The remaining Slarks all enter rage. Slark keeps stealing more and more stats. If the player can eliminate all the Slarks, the remaining time will also be added to the total score. Push to the limit and finally emerged victorious. Meepo's final score is 110, surpassing Crystal Maiden, temporarily ranked 1st on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Lion. Lion's Impale and Hex both work on invisible units, forcing them out of stealth. Lion tries to drain some mana from Slark, but going invisible breaks the mana drain. He can't drain mana from debuff immune units either. A Lion without Finger of Death can't outlast Slark at all. What if we give him one more chance? Lion's Finger of Death is the wellspring of his power in this challenge, but it only works within 20 seconds after casting Finger of Death, and the ultimate costs too much mana, he can't cast it many times. So this time, he decides to use Impale plus Mana Drain to restore mana before Slark uses Rage, ensuring he can handle the Rage. Lion's final score is 137. Surpassing Meepo, he temporarily ranks first on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin's Psy Blades can hit invisible units, but her projectile speed is too slow. If the target turns invisible mid-attack, it has no effect. Templar Assassin's final score is 5, currently ranked 12th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Gyrocopter. Flashbang ahead, eye protection mode activated. The effects look dazzling, but most of the flak cannon shots were dodged. Only managed to kill 40. Gyrocopter's final score is 50, currently ranked 6th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Tidehunter. Tidehunter's score is 56. But here's the question, if Tide chose the other talent, to upgrade Kraken Shell instead? With this talent, Anchor Smash kills will stack Kraken Shell layers. So can Tide stack enough for full damage immunity before Slark's Rage? Looks like it worked. Tidehunter's stats got completely drained. Slark isn't even scratching Tidehunter, but Tide has no stats left to hurt Slark either. Yet Slark's agility keeps stacking. Eventually, he'll start damaging Tide. But the game's getting laggier. It even crashed outright. We'll take Tide's best run as the final result. Tidehunter is final score, 56. Currently ranked 5th on the leaderboard. Next up is Ember Spirit entering the fray. Every time Ember Spirit scores a hero kill, he regains 1 charge of Fire Remnant, instantly activating Infinite Slide of Chains mode. But after the number of Slarks diminishes, the combos start dropping off. Ember Spirit's score is 90. What if he tried a different playstyle? Ember Spirit opted for Talent 2. Every time Searing Chains is released, the surrounding spirits will also release it together. So he can choose to summon spirits without launching them, and stockpile the spirits. This way he can bind a large number of Slarks at once. Generating a massive amount of calculations. Frame rate has dropped to double digits. Can the PC even hold up until then? Ember Spirit challenge completed. Ember Spirit's final score is 119, currently ranked second on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Witch Doctor. Only 2 left before Rage activates, but Witch Doctor just can't kill these 2. Witch Doctor's final score is 109, currently ranked 4th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is SF. Every time SF hits a hero with Shadow Rays, it reduces Shadow Rays' cooldown. The Fate Stone can also stack souls infinitely. SF's final score is 173, surpassing Lion to temporarily claim the top spot on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Clockwork. Clockwork's flare grants true sight. It can reveal invisible Slarks. Clockwork's final score is 34, temporarily ranked 13th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Marcy. Marcy's innate ability summons a courier to her side. Let's see what it brought this time. Oh my god, it's another Battle Fury. Wait, why did I say another? But when Marcy's rebound is mid-air, if the opponent goes invisible, it gets interrupted immediately and can't be executed at all. Marcy's final score is 26, currently ranked 15th on the leaderboard. Next up is Alchemist. What the? Alchemist gets an extra 250 starting gold thanks to his innate ability. He straight up bought a fishing net from the shopkeeper. The effect is actually really good. Too bad his damage output is just way too low. Alchemist's final score is 94, currently ranked 7th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Naga Siren. Little Naga starts singing right away. What's she trying to do? What the hell? The Slark was enchanted by the song. It even started actively circling around Naga. Naga Siren, his final score is 173, currently tied for first place on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Rubik. Rubik secretly learned to sing like Naga Siren, but he sang so horribly that Slark got enraged. Rubik's final score is 0, currently ranked 23rd on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Axe. A taunted Slark will also lose his invisibility, but our Slark is well trained. Even when taunted, if not in rage, he would never attack anyone under any circumstances. Axe's final score is 174. Currently ranked first on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Slarks. Slarks' final score is 56, currently tied for 11th place on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Beastmaster. What a shame. In Dota 2, Beastmaster's Hawk doesn't have true sight. Beastmaster's final score is 50, currently tied for 14th place on the leaderboard. The next contender is Warlock. Although Ogre Magi did their best to optimize today's challenge, since every fish is treated as a hero unit and possesses AI, some players experienced frame drops during the challenge. We appreciate your understanding. The Warlock's final score is 176, surpassing Axe to temporarily claim the top spot on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger's final score is 40, currently ranked 19th on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Techies. Techies' Scepter ability creates a minefield where units trigger an explosion every 200 units moved. The effect is devastating. Techies' final score is 92, currently ranked 11th on the leaderboard. The next contestant to take the stage is Zeus. Zeus has chosen Talent 2. His ultimate now chains similarly to Nature's Prophets. It automatically bounces starting from the lowest health unit. Since each kill stacks damage by the final bounce, even a Raging Slarder with debuff immunity got instantly deleted. Zeus's final score is 176, currently tied for first place on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Queen of Pain. When Queen of Pain's Shadow Strike buff refreshes, we'll release another roar. But the poison dart flies too slowly, dodged with invisibility before it could hit, so you didn't get to see what you wanted. Queen of Pain's final score is 16, currently ranked 26th on the leaderboard. Next up is Kunkka. Kunka picked Talent 1. Every Tidebringer hit on a hero reduces cooldown, now it's 0. Kunka's final score is 179, currently ranked number 1 on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Underlord. Big Booty Sven chose Talent 1. Atrophiora now comes with Cleave Effect. Underlord's final score is 169, currently ranked number 7 on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Magnus. Magnus scored 84, but here's the question, what if he changed his approach? What is he doing? He didn't even land a single basic attack, just standing there feeding fish? What? So the play was to bait the Slarks' rage first, then counterattack instantly with the ultimates or stat boost. Magnus's final score is 180. Surpassing Kunka to temporarily claim the top spot on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Winter Wyvern. Since Slark only has attack capability during rage, the Wyvern also opted to bait with its own body first. However, Raging Slark is immune to debuffs. Winter Wyvern's ultimate ignores debuff immunity only on the primary target, but after the match concludes, we can still see what everyone wants to watch. Of course, if Winter Wyvern played seriously, they could still score a few points, but for visual impact, they chose to sacrifice themselves. Winter Wyvern's final score is 0, currently tied for 34th place on the leaderboard. The next contestant is Sand King. Sand King's final score is 181, surpassing Magnus, currently ranked first place. The next contestant is Necrophos. Necrophos' final score is 186, surpassing SK to temporarily claim first place. The next contestant is Spectre. What were you expecting? Spectre's final score is 3, currently ranked 35th place. The next contestant is Invoker. Invoker's final score is 194, surpassing Necrophos, currently ranked first on the leaderboard. Now, let's give a grand welcome to today's final contestant. Earthshaker takes the stage. Earthshaker's final score is 199, overtaking Invoker to claim the top spot on the leaderboard. Now, let's reveal the final standings of all participants. Wait, no, since today is April 1st, we actually have 41 challenges. But there are only 40 on screen. So who is the last one then? Actually, he's been here all along while players were slacking off. He was on the field watching it all, literally fishing. That's right, it's Ogre Magi. Since Bluefat participated in every player's challenge, therefore, his final score is the sum of all players' combined scores. Now, let's congratulate Ogre Magi for winning today's challenge. We're doing okay, hell yeah we are.